So this is our new puppy, Jeff. He's a black Labrador and he's absolutely gorgeous. We've had him a week, and so I'll tell you how that first week's gone. So one of the things that we brought Jeff was a crate, and we use this at night, and then if we leave the house we put him in here just to keep him safe. And we bought a little dog bed. It's just padded and soft to go on the bottom so that he's nice and comfy in there. We bought him a couple of toys. So this is his favourite one. It's got a squeaker in it, it's got a rope toy. You heard that, didn't you, Jeff? Do you want it? And so yeah, that's his favourite toy. It's the evening now, so he's just relaxing and calming down. And this is a blanket from his breeders that smells like the mum and the puppies, and we use that in his crate for the first couple of days, but he doesn't seem to need it now, so I've just put it on top so it's a bit more like a den for him. So one of the other things that we got for Jeff was a food bowl, which has got his food in, and a water bowl, and it's sort of a combination. He's not particularly greedy as a dog. He'll sort of come have a little bit and then he will yeah, leave it when he's full, and so we just leave food in there all the time for him so he can help himself as and when he sort of decides that he's hungry. He tends to graze quite a lot. He doesn't eat loads. He'll just have a little bit and then he'll leave it. So as you can see now, he's not particularly hungry, so he's not eating. So I thought I'd do a video on our first week at home with our puppy and how things have gone, what's gone well and what hasn't gone so well. So we picked Jeff up from the breeders last Wednesday and brought him home. He yeah, he's settled in really nicely actually. So first of all, we decided that we're going to use a crate, and so he goes in that at night, and he goes in that if we leave the house. In the daytime, the longest he's been left is 2 hours, and at night it varies sort of how long he stays in there. Or do you want your toy? Yeah, the first night we brought him home, we put him in his crate at about 11:30 at night, and he did whimper a little bit, so I sat on the outside of the crate. I left him inside and I waited for him to fall asleep. It took him about 15 minutes for him to fall asleep, and then once he'd fallen asleep I crept out and then went upstairs to bed, and then he didn't start whimpering until about 5:30 in the morning. So at 5:30 in the morning he woke up, he started whimpering, and then I came downstairs and I let him out, and then he needed to go to the toilet outside, and then we came back in here. I lay down on the sofa, and then he decided that he was going to go back to sleep, so he curled up on the sofa, well, not on the sofa, on the floor next to the sofa, and just went back to sleep quite happily. In terms of toilet training, we've been very lucky actually. He's not had any accidents in the crate at all, so when he's in the crate he's very, very good. He's not done any poos in the house at all, so he knows that you're meant to do them in the garden, and he's done that on his own. We haven't really had any sort of involvement in that. He was just very good at going to the toilet outside. When it comes to the wheeze, he's had maybe 5 or 6 accidents in the house, and it's been my fault really when I've not left the back door open for him to go to the toilet, or when we've gone into another room and I've forgotten to take him to the toilet or something like that. But for the last couple of days he hasn't had any, because I've got better at taking him outside to go to the toilet. So when we first brought him home, and he's not done any wheeze in his crate or anything, so when we first brought him home, what we did was we took him outside lots. So every time he ate, every time he woke up, sort of, yeah, just all the time taking him outside. After he'd eaten, after he'd had something to drink, we'd just take him outside. And then when he did do a wee, we would say, go wee wee, go wee wee, as he was going for a wee. And then we would give him a treat. And yeah, he really likes getting a treat and being told he was a good boy when he'd done his wee wee. So after he'd finished, we'd say, oh, good boy, and give him a treat. Good wee wee. And then, yeah, so he really liked that. And he's, yeah, clocked on quite quickly that you get treats if you do wee wees outside. So he's, yeah, he's been really good at going for wees outside. In terms of what's another thing we've been working on? He's jumping and sort of mouthing. So I've got young children. I've got 3 children. I've got a 13-year-old, a 3-year-old and an 18-month-old. And when we picked him up from the breeder, I picked a breeder that had children, so she had 4 children of her own. He was very used to young children, and so it didn't really faze him going to a household with 3 children, so that was quite nice. And he wasn't also overexcited by the children, because obviously they're quite loud, they're quite unpredictable with their movements, they move very quickly, and he didn't really bat an eyelid because he'd obviously come from a household with 4 children. And so, yeah, he was used to the hustle and bustle of family life. What we've done is when we come into a room, he gets very excited, obviously, when he first sees you. So say if he's been in his crate and you come in, or if my son comes home from school, or, you know, things like that, when he sees people and hasn't seen them for a little while, he gets very excited. So what we've done is we wait for him to sit before we stroke him, so that he's not sort of leaping all over us, and that seems to be working quite well. He's not too sort of boisterous and bouncing all over us. The other thing that we've been doing is when he sort of mouths at you, we just get up and walk away, so that he then doesn't get any attention, and he wants the attention. He's a nice friendly dog and he likes being around people, so for him, he will, you know, hopefully soon learn that if he wants to get attention and cuddles and be played with, then he needs to be nice and gentle and not bite people. So yeah, so we're working on that. Obviously, he was 9 weeks old when we picked him up, and he's now 10 weeks old, so he's tiny, isn't he? So it will take him a while to pick that up. Jeff, come on, Jeff, come and have a cuddle. Boy. So if I were to do this week again, what would I do differently? There are actually a couple of things that I would do differently. So first of all, my children, well, my 18-month-old in particular, drops quite a lot of food on the floor when she's eating, and he's realised this, so he sits underneath her seat waiting for this food to drop down. And she's now realised that he does this and he likes her food, so she's now started dropping food down for him to eat. And so that's something that I would change. I'm going to stop him moving forward, coming into the kitchen when the children are eating, because it's not very good for him to be eating lots of bits that they're throwing on the floor for him. Next, the sandpit. So I thought it was quite cute. He got in the sandpit. I did do a YouTube short of him in the sandpit, and actually I don't think it's a great idea him getting into the sandpit. He's going to be massive. He's going to fill the whole sandpit, and he's going to be able to empty that sandpit in seconds. So yeah, he's surprisingly quick at digging and getting the sand out of the sandpit. So I need to try and discourage him from doing that. What's another thing? And also digging holes in the garden. So he's realised that we've got quite sandy soil here. It's really easy to sort of dig up, and yeah, he finds it great fun digging holes in the garden. And so I just need to try and encourage him not to do that anymore, and do sort of more constructive things instead. What else? I think that's it actually. It's been a really good first week. I don't know if things are gonna get worse, and he's going to get harder work as he gets older, because obviously he was 9 weeks old when we picked him up, and he's 10 weeks old now, so he's still very little, so he might go into his sort of teenage rebellious years, I don't know. But at the moment it's been a very easy transition, and he's been a really nice dog. He's very sort of, I would say he's quite emotionally aware, so he's realised that our 18-month-old a bit more sensitive than the others, and he's just more gentle with her. He's a nice dog. He sort of picks up on your emotions and is considerate to them, which is really, I'm really sort of grateful that he is like that. And he's in general quite a calm dog. Obviously he gets the zoomies and he does dig holes in the garden and things like that, but on the whole he is quite chilled out and quite sort of relaxed. And I think that comes from his mum, because when we went round to see her, she was very much like that as well. She was very relaxed, very calm, and So I think, yeah, it does definitely stem from the parents. And so that was really nice. He just, yeah, and also when we went to the breeders last week to pick him up, he just followed us around. He wasn't sort of jumping all over us and getting sort of all sort of overexcited or anything. He just very calm, just came, sat, and when I was sat down on one of the chairs in the garden at the breeder's house, he just came and sat underneath me, curled up by my feet, and yeah, just really sort of really placid, really gentle. He's there were only 2 of them left when we went to collect him, and one of the other ones was a bit more barky, he was a bit more feisty, whereas yeah, our Jeff was, yeah, one of the sort of placid ones in the litter, and she said that he was her her children's favourite puppy out of the litter. So yeah, that was really nice. And when I work 2 days a week from home, and he will just curl up underneath my feet when I'm working, and just, yeah, very, very good like that. He does sort of bring you toys and things like that, but he, yeah, on the whole, when you're working or when you're doing something, he will just curl up and just go to sleep next to you. He's happy as long as he's with you. He doesn't really like being on his own. But yeah, apart from that, he's just, yeah, very easy. I'm not sure when he gets older how he'll be for sort of dog walking or training, things like that. The only command he knows at the moment is come and sit. He's quite good at those actually. We do little training sessions in the morning and then in the evening. I do it when the children aren't about, because I think it's all just a bit too much when you've got your 3 children around and you're trying to, they want to train him and they're saying things and you're saying things, and I think it would just confuse him. So I do it first thing in the morning when I wake up. I tend to yeah, do it first thing in the morning and then in the evening as well. So before bed, I'll do a little bit of training with him then. And yeah, that works well. So I think that's everything. It's been a good first week. I'm going to try and do a video once a week, every week, and post it so that you can see what it's like having a dog, how things progress as they get older and things like that. And you can watch him grow and turn into, hopefully, a very gentle, calm adult dog. Well, we'll see. But he's a working Labrador rather than a show type Labrador, and so his face is a little less sort of boxy, and he's not quite as chunky as those the show type Labradors. And I don't know if that sort of has an impact on their sort of behaviour. His mum, although she's also a working Labrador, she isn't used for anything within that field. She's just a pet at home, and the owner was saying that she's very calm and things like that at home. So hopefully he'll be the same, and he'll just be, obviously take him out for walks and things like that. My 13-year-old maybe wants to do a bit of agility with him when he's a bit older, and so do some things like that, maybe something to do with scent work or something like that for him, just to sort of keep him a little bit stimulated. I need to have a look and see what we can do with him so that he's kept sort of entertained. But yeah, we're really thrilled that we got Jeff, and yeah, thank you for watching if you made it this far, and I'll hopefully see you next week. All right then, take care, bye.